Here's the thing. I normally don't even cover world news. Like, I do politics, but it's more of a, it's like a sprinkling, right? World news is not typically my B&B. It's not my, it's just like not my forte. However, what was happening today, the news, obviously, that has been coming out of Gaza, and all of the statements that are being made by our US politicians, including many on the progressive left, and then what people are saying online just had me being like, okay, we got to talk about this. We have to cover what's going on here, because there is so much history that's been erased, and to say that this was an unprovoked attack, to say that this is declaring war on Israel, is just flagrantly wrong. It is absolutely ignoring the fact that Israel, for decades now, has been a violent colonial settling nation. They are the oppressor. They, in 2007, established blockades in Gaza. And what has been happening there for the last 16 years is a humanitarian crisis, day in and day out. People there are cut off from air, land, and sea. They are struggling to eat. They, to have electricity, to have clean water, because Israel's number one goal is extermination. That is their goal. I cannot believe how many people are taking the side of the oppressor. And it just makes me wonder, if Nazi Germany had been more liberal, would these people have sided with Nazi Germany? As horrible as the loss of life is, people who are oppressed have the right to fight back against their oppressors. That is how the world has always existed. And it is awful. It is awful, of course, that civilians have been caught in the crosshairs. And if you compare how many Palestinian peoples have been killed versus Israeli, the numbers are not even close. I said this previously, and I'm just going to keep saying it. When you are under oppression, you have the right to fight back against your oppressor. Okay? What do you want them to do? How do you expect them to fight back against daily violence? You cannot fight back against the violence that has been enacted on Palestinian people. You cannot fight back with peace. There's one side in this situation who has the power to end this violence, and that is Israel. Ultimately, you want to know who's responsible for the civilian deaths, the Israeli civilian deaths? It's the fucking Israeli government. They are the reason why their civilians are being killed. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding with this? This is not Jewish people under attack.
Free Palestine.
This is oppressed Palestinians in Gaza who have no other choice but to fight back violently or to support terrorist groups that are fighting violently for the liberation of the Palestinian people. And it's insane to continue to let Israel get away with this propaganda. I mean, honestly, they have a powerful propaganda machine themselves, and then they've got the weight of the United States. They've got the UK. Like, they have got multiple media propaganda machines throughout the world who are propagating their lies. So here's a short video on how Israel actually helped to create Hamas. So Israel is to blame for all of this, okay? The very the very extremist organization that was responsible for the attack on Israeli civilians and troops today was created by Israel.
Department under Ronald.
And the thing too is that Palestinian civilians would not, under other circumstances, be supporting a terrorist group, but because they have no one else fighting for their liberation, that is who they have. Some of y'all need to go back and do a little historical reading, okay? I need you to look at how revolutions are won. I need you to look at like how oppressed people fight back against their oppressors. Just go do a little studying. It is so demoralizing.
Amen, Caroline.
It is so demoralizing to see people supporting these bloodthirsty, greedy, violent, colonialist settlers taking their revenge upon Hamas and upon Palestine, when it's like, you are the reason for this. You are the violent. You are the violent settlers who did this. Caroline doesn't get the fuck out of here. You fucking freak. Suck my dick. Shut the fuck up. Honestly, anybody in here who's trying to say I'm anti-Semitic, that I hate Jewish people, fuck off. Truly, choke on my fucking dick. Eat my ball sack. Yes, I am anti-Zionist. And that is not the same thing. Zionists, not equal to Jewish, okay? Jewish people who know what's up are anti-Zionism as well.
Is that our
I think a few people have said this, and there is something that is really there's something that like almost makes me disassociate to know that there was a rave happening to the biggest concentration camp in the world, and I am sad at the kids who were killed at this rave, but my question is like, what is it that they are missing to understand that where they were was next to a concentration camp? It'd be like if German kids, German teens, 20-year-olds, I don't know how old they were, but if they went to a rave that was next to Auschwitz, do you know what I'm saying? Where like, there is a disconnect there. Why did that happen in the first place? Why would the event planners allow that? Why would the government allow that? They are next to the largest concentration camp where there is constantly violence occurring. There are airstrikes that are happening by their own government. Like, why would you even put them in proximity to that? Is it really honest to compare those two? 1,000%. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. My belief on this, Dan, thank you for the gifted. My belief on this is because of what Benjamin Netanyahu and his, and his allies, what it is that they want, what their goal is. And the reason why they have so severely failed Israelites, the civilians that they are responsible for, is because they want this to happen. They absolutely want there to be attacks like this from Hamas, so then they can turn around and have the justification and the backing of the world to level Gaza. I want to piggyback off what Wake said and emphasize the power of the pro-Israel, pro-Zionism propaganda machine that has been propped up and spread through mainstream media here in the US. And it, like I said, it goes without saying that, like, of course Frogan condemns Hamas. Of course she does not stand with terrorists, but she was making the point that these are people who have been trapped in this cage for over 16 years, people who have been born into this prison, whose parents are refugees, who were displaced from their homes. Like, they have no rights. They have nothing. What do you want them to do?
But why do they attack a festival though? Is it revenge? Or is it because they don't have good enough equipment or, to face military groups?
I'm not going to sit here because, as I said, like, I don't condone those killings, right? Mm-hmm. They attacked a rave that was taking place next to this prison, right?
I just want to say, if someone says, Melina, careful, I'm just asking questions because I don't know. So.
No, you're allowed to ask questions, but I know it was changed to the location where it was at 2 days before. But if I'm being honest, I don't think it's right now. I don't want to discuss this in almost a conspiratorial sense, even though I think it is valid to say, did Israel have intel that this attack was going to come and they wanted it to happen so that they could justify leveling Gaza? Like, did this festival get moved because of the information? Like, we don't know, but the point is, it's war. War is hell.
That is not to say it's okay. It's awful. It's violent. It's terrible. I do not want to see a single person die, nor does anyone. And the
only way... maybe this is me off the fence too much. I feel like those are Twitter takes, because look at the history of mankind. People be dying all the time, man.
Well, Twitter takes as far as,
you ever heard, lessons not learned, blood are soon forgotten? Like, how can they ever get out of this without fighting their way out of it?
Oh...
Mm-hmm. It's like America's not going to come save them.
That's why the question of, like, what do you want them to do when peaceful protest has led to them being shot? That's what's disgusting, is to see these fucking right-wing politicians who have Nazi supporters and who espouse anti-Semitic rhetoric, who, because they hate Muslims so much that they are now like, oh, Jews, Israel, we must stand up for them. Like, you anti-Semitic motherfuckers. Those are the real hateful pieces of shit who are utilizing this situation here to wipe out a group of people that they hate more.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
What about Jesus Christ?
That's where he's from. Nazareth.
Yeah.
What was the demographics back then?
That would have been
year zero.
Just about
BC. It would have been a mix of Palestinians, Palestinians, Arabs, Jews, and Christians.
It was a mix of people in this area.
But Palestine,
and that changed over time.
Well, yes, but under
they got along back then?
Yes. So this is a common misconception, okay? People think that Muslims, that Arabs and Jews have been feuding for centuries, when in reality... Wait a minute.
How can there be Christians before Jesus?
Well,
they were like early. They just knew. They had a good feeling.
We're talking about like Jesus. Are you talking about before, like, as Jesus was?
There's no way a baby can be born and all of a sudden there's a religion following this baby.
The wise men showed up.
That cannot be the case. That's not possible.
Can you fucking pay attention?
I am. I'm trying to figure it out.
But you're looking for a loophole, dumbass.
Okay,
relax.
Okay,
Why?
Okay.
We're talking about Jesus and you're getting angry. Show respect.
People are asking, do you realize that, like, Israel wasn't founded until 1948? Israel did not, as a nation.
Wasn't that in the Bible? Wasn't that in the Bible though?
They did say in 1948.
No, isn't that like an old school city? Like, or
No,
old school?
Jerusalem? Are you referring? Jerusalem has been what
Wait, what am I thinking
religiously has been a battle over the right
So you're saying Israel did not exist
yes.
until 1948?
Yes.
That word wasn't real, and before
There
that,
was no nation of Israel.
what was Israel? Is it like
Israel was Palestine.
Was it just an idea back then?
Israel was Israel. Okay. Yes, I know he's thinking about
What's the word?
Jerusalem.
I don't know if this is offensive.
Jerusalem, which has always existed.
But in the Bible, isn't there a world called like Israelites? Isn't that a term in the Bible?
Is it in relationship to the kingdom of Israel? Is that I think that
What
is
is it?
referenced in the Bible, but it could be very off there.
I'm trying to like I guess the clarification is Israel existing as like an actual
like an
state,
official
as statehood. Right.
recognized country by the United Nations.
Yes, and it was
for 1948.
I'm sorry, my knowledge of the Bible is chat. Israel in the Bible is different.
I actually know.
Is the letter in Sinai list? Okay, let me see. Israel under attack. Open letter. Yeah. So, also let me just kick off the stream since we kind of have just gone right into it. Welcome to today's stream here. We are 9 days into the one-sided war with Israel as the aggressor, as Israel is the one who has enforced the apartheid regime. So let's keep looking at this list. Mark Hamill, yeah, no shit. He broke his brain in that car accident. Oh, sorry. Sorry, was that unfair? Billy Porter? Fuck off. Fuck off, man. Also, guys, I want to be 1,000% clear here, as I have to continue to be, because psychos are watching this and looking for any way to continue harassing me. This is an open letter that is calling on the entertainment community to speak out forcefully against Hamas, which, as we have all had to say 1,000 times, yeah, no normal person with an ounce of empathy supports terrorism. That also means that you cannot support Israel. Just say okay, I want to take a second. I want to take a minute because I acknowledge that a lot of people who signed this probably signed it because they felt pressured to. Because forever, this has been so one-sided. This has been through the work of the Israeli government and their media and our media and the UK media and, you know, media around the world and politicians. This has always been about how Israel and Jewish people have always been under threat. Yeah, so there's a lot of names on here. And like I said, some people are full-on Zionists. And then others don't know what the fuck is going on. And the crazy thing is that there are a lot of people still who don't know. Who don't understand, like, what is actually happening. As, like, all you have to do is read one fucking article that's not clearly being written by a Zionist, or watch one video on YouTube, or see one thing. Let me just show you, like, here's a great example of how the media is complicit in trying to make this seem like it was not Israel, okay? So this was like one of the first headlines that New York Times and reporting on this horrific incident today. They wrote, Israeli strike kills hundreds in hospital, Palestinians say. So if you looked at the media from when this first happened, This is what it looked like, right? Israeli strike, because of the obviousness of this being an Israeli strike, the technological power that is required to inflict this amount of damage on a hospital, okay? A misfired rocket would not have done the damage that this did. There is nothing to point to the fact, like to actually logically point to this being Hamas. Like, guys, I just need you, like, just use common sense for a second, okay? Do you think that if Hamas possessed the technological capability to blow up a hospital like this, do you think that they would not have already used that on Israel? Funny how when the baby's news broke, we had to take word for it, but this bomb we have to wait. Yeah, I made that point earlier. I was like, oh yeah, no, there's no problem in there's no problem in dispersing information that is so clearly fabricated in effort to continue to make this one-sided. But oh no, hold on. How could you be calling this an Israeli airstrike?
To try to
And then they'll go, we don't have the facts. Also, was probably Islamic Jihad. You're like, hold on, we don't have the facts. But also, it was Islamic Jihad. Come on. Hello, have been lurking. I'm wondering as to your thoughts on why the Israeli PR acts as if people aren't educated and illiterate. Are they just using old tactics in a new world? I think that what it is that they are not able to control how bloodthirsty they are. And here's the thing. There's a lot of people who have been like given the thumbs up to this. Israel has been bloodthirsty and you know, acting bloodthirsty forever. So it's not a matter of, it's not necessarily like Israel PR thinking that people can't read what they're saying. It's that they're so unbelievably bloodthirsty and they can't help themselves. Like, that is, I think, very telling. And why, like, this whole week I've been saying, this is what psychopaths like Benjamin Netanyahu want. They have wanted their entire lives, you know, like since the founding of Israel, Zionists like Benjamin Netanyahu, they have always wanted to destroy the last remnants of Palestine. Okay, it wasn't enough to take 78%.
At this mount, I think they are trolling us. They're taking bets with each other behind the press conference curtains to see what ridiculous shit the media will eat up.
I mean, it feels like it, but like they really are, they are such bloodthirsty savages. That's the truth of it. Joby, thank you for the 2 months.
Just shows the brutality that they're willing to engage on, that they're willing to use civilians as a way to mask their operations, but also to see them as casualties. That's not how we democracies are going to.
Yeah, Indians are fucking embarrassment
the
in this
Secretary
matter.
in his conversations with Minister Gallant, we have always.
Science, it's an airstrike. Size of the explosion, AV evidence corresponding with JDAM strike signature. Israel saying that hospitals were fair game. Previous Israeli attacks on this building. Almost all governments blaming Israel. Signs that it was a Hamas rocket. Israel says so. Like, please, we have to be using common sense here. We cannot ignore decades of historical evidence that shows us that this is what the countries in power will do. This is what the United States of America does over and over again, because they need to be able to commit their war crimes openly, explicitly, but still have the support of the world. Still have the support of their powerful allies, of the media. Okay, so like, they're gonna do this shit and then be like, it wasn't us. source, just trust me, bro. Literally, they're over here, like, they're over here. Oh, yeah, well, hospitals are fair game. We told you guys to evacuate. Ha, ha, ha. This is the children of the light versus the children of the dark. These people are animals. Civilians are not actually innocent. Children and women should have risen up against Hamas. These are all things that Israeli mouthpieces, politicians, media people, you name it, have said in the last week. So now you're going to tell me, after posting all this shit, including today, and them now going, wait, what? What? It wasn't us? Obviously, this is Hamas. Every person who's died has died because of Hamas. Obviously. So y'all gonna keep supporting us with your money and with your voices and with your media while we keep killing kids, blowing their heads off. Come on, y'all. Right, like, I have said this multiple times, but please use common sense and think, if Hamas had this weaponry, this, like, advanced warfare, okay, do you know how hard it is to blow up a fucking hospital? Do you know the kind of firepower you have to have for that? Use your brains. Do you not think that they wouldn't have already lit up Israel? What? What? Notice how Joe never mentioned Palestine. Of course not. Again, very, very specific in choosing to leave that out. Nah, but Caroline Kwan, hummus though. But Caroline Kwan, come on. Hummus? Hello? Hello? I noticed that it's been at least 5 minutes since you condemned hummus. You know, that sends a very clear message that you love terrorism. Because here's the definition of terrorism, okay? The unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims. Huh. Everything that you have learned about Israel this week, or what you know before, or just like go read one fucking thing, okay? Does that sound like terrorism? Yeah. But why is it that you can't associate terrorism with people who aren't Arabs? Because when you hear the word terrorism, and these are the same people who refuse to denounce white people in this country as domestic terrorists. Because when they think of terrorism, when they hear the word terrorism, when they picture what a terrorist is, they picture a scary brown man with a beard and a little hat and, you know, claws and, you know, just intent on murder. Yeah, that is the stereotypical depiction, anything but the hat, of when people think of terrorist. That's just that's what it is, okay? And that's why when I call Israel a terrorist state, when I call the Israeli government a terrorist government, people go, anti-Semitism. When in reality, the reason that they refuse to accept that is because of their own Islamophobia and because of their own anti-Semitism. Is the IDF still lying, saying it wasn't them? Yes, now anybody who has been a mouthpiece for Israel, who previously this morning confirmed that it was a rocket from the Israeli military, is now trying to walk it back and pretend that it was Hamas who had a rocket misfire, even though Hamas literally does not have the technological capability to do so. I mean, it's the gaslighting right now has been absolutely crazy. Let's be very fucking clear. We know exactly who bombed the hospital, the people that were threatening to bomb the hospital. Listen, at this point, what I have to do as somebody with a platform, even though it's not, you know, it's not like I'm on MSNBC where I have 20 million people tuning in, but I have a platform. I've been using my voice. I've been trying to share this information. I will not sit here and say 100% this was the IDF. Okay. All right. Richard Spencer calls himself a Zionist. It's literally on YouTube. Yeah, and I think I think this is an important distinction. Nazis will support Israel because Israel is not Judaism, okay? Israel is white supremacy. Israel is nationalism. The things that Israel stands for and what Zionism stands for is in line with what Nazis believed. Okay, when Zionism began, Zionism took tenets from Judaism, but Zionism was something totally opposite. Zionism was a response to the persecution that Jews have faced. Zionism was a movement to take that persecution and go, okay, we are going to form our nation here, the nation of Israel, on Palestine's land. And we have the right to do that because of all these atrocities that Jewish people have faced for being Jewish. But Zionism is not like Judaism is ancient, okay? Judaism is thousands and thousands of years old. Zionism is not. Zionism is a political movement, again, a political movement that was created as a way to have Jewish nationalism. It was supremacy in response to what Jewish people had faced. And that's why we say Zionism is inherently white supremacist because when it was founded, its goal was Jewish supremacy. Its goal was an ethno-state in Palestine. It has nothing to do with actual Judaism. Okay? It's not rooted in religion. Let's be real. It's a Western imperialist project to destabilize the region. Yes, and it hides under the guise of religion and of Judaism. It's the same shit we do here with like Christianity, you know? And funny enough, most Nazis I've seen are supporting the IDF. They're just writing for genocide even if their enemy's doing it. Yes, because Nazis know, too, that Israel is separate from, that Israel and the Israeli government is separate from Judaism. They know that Israel represents white supremacy. That's why you see Nazis like writing for Benjamin Netanyahu, writing for the IDF. Oh, here it is. I'm an assistant professor at Columbia Business School. I'm a father, a husband, an uncle, a son. I'm a 40-year-old man, and last week I found myself crying in front of a... This Twitter thread will make you puke, by the way. Okay, it's just so cringe. It's so fucking cringe. When there are people who are actually dead, actually dying, we should always stop before we go to tweet something that is about us and about how we are scared for ourselves when we are in the privileged comfort of, and safety where this person is, okay? He's literally an assistant professor at Columbia University in New York and tweeted this entire fucking thread. And as you can imagine, it's just full of Zionist bullshit. I just gotta say, like, if I'm a Palestinian person whose family is like actually dead, like people who are actually dying, like being bombed, seeing someone like this get so much support and attention and get to feel like their crocodile tears are justified, it would honestly make me
less than 3.
It would make me lose my fucking mind. Like, I'm losing my mind here as someone who's not even Palestinian, but understands how absolutely narcissistic and ridiculous this is. Vale, thank you for the 8 months. Woo! And I can't imagine people whose like families are actually dying, okay?
way to free Palestine is to eradicate Hamas forever. I'm Yisrael Chai.
I hate her. Yisrael Chai. Girl, take those H's and go down to hell. Take those H's and go down to hell. Go down to hell with those H's. Israel Climb. Okay, too many of y'all in chat being like, I can fix her. No, you can't. But I can fix her. Ain't no way go to hell. Why don't you go to hell? Take your eyebrows and go to hell. I was told you support Hamas. I was told that you like to suck your own daddy's dick. Is that true? Fucking freak. Do you condom hummus? I'm literally talking about Joe Biden right now. Oh, hey, I was told you support Hamas. Saying it so casual, like, fuck off. Like, oh, hey, I was told that you're vegetarian. Just wanted to make sure. When I'm planning out the menu for tonight's dinner party, I was told that you're vegetarian. Coming in here, I was told that you support, by who told you that? I was told you support Hamas is insane. You can go shave your back now. Bye, Jason.